morning, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. Not your first time here, hi, welcome back. If you enjoy any and all things makeup related, tossing in some book stuff here and there, definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified of all my future uploads, and let's go ahead and let's get into today's video. So, Nomad Cosmetics released a new palette. If you are not new here, I really like Nomad. I love their formula. It's so good. The shimmers are buttery soft, super intense. Sometimes they do have some topper shades in there as well. The mattes, it just feels like heaven. Like just so silky and soft. Love those. So they launched a new collection. This is the Nomad Fetês de Provence. I don't know. So this is what the carton looks like. This is buttery and rich shades formulated with extra fine pigments for vivid color payoff, infused with sweet almond oil to help smooth and moisturize skin. Has 10 mattes, 5 shimmers, celebrating the Blvd of Provence. The inspiration is charming you with its world sensorial delights. Provence is a celebration of the sweet life, the feel of the mistral wind in the spring, the sight of vast sunflower and lavender fields in the summer sun, the sound of the bees and butterflies humming with their work, and the aroma of the sweets and taste of a crisp rosé on a warm day. Okay, so this is just the cartridge in general. Now, one thing I really love about Nomad is every single launch that they have, they're always supporting something. And you get this little card that kind of explains everything. Excuse me. So you have like the story of like the thought process of the palette. We have like what the palette inspo was, the lip gloss, and then they have the cause at the bottom of this. So the cause is they always give to something different. Usually it is to mostly help some animals, but the cause this time is bees, which I don't like bees on me, but I do like bees. I appreciate all that they do for like the world and things like that. So I really appreciate bees. So they are helping the bees, which they make the Garden of Delights possible. And with this launch, we are so proud to support the Bee Conservancy. So I am absolutely in love with their mission. I think they've done like sea turtles before. They just always seems like they're always like coming up with like an organization to help. And then they donate so many of their proceeds. I think it's like 10%. It's either 10% or more of all their sales that they make, that they donate to this organization, which is fantastic. And I know some YouTubers also do put their money towards the cause that they are. I definitely try to put in at least $100, and then, you know, if I have more money that month, then I will definitely donate more. But my minimum is $100. So I love supporting everything that they support. So I'm here for it. And if you guys also want to help support the bees, or honestly any other organization, because they have like a turtle palette that just launched before this one, and all of them just have some kind of like sponsorship that they're trying to do to raise more money. So if you guys are like, well, I don't want to just necessarily donate to whatever cause that it is directly from my own money, you would rather purchase a palette so you have something from that donation, then definitely go onto Nomad's website, get a palette. I will say though, if you get a palette, no matter if you're doing it to support the, you know, whatever they're supporting or not, their formula is incredible. It is so pigmented and just so buttery and creamy. Like just feeling them, I'm just like, it's incredible. It's fantastic. Like just the way it feels is mind-blowing. Okay, mind-blowing. So this is what the outside of the palette looks like. And then here on the inside, you get a really nice like full-size mirror. And then here are all of the beautiful shimmers and mattes. So again, you get 10 shimmers and you get 5 mattes. So I like the way they sometimes like do their palettes. Like you have mattes, and then your shimmers. Love that. Sometimes they mix and match it, but I'm definitely a fan of when you have like a straight row of just, you know, just mattes, just shimmers. That's something that I like. So if you guys are excited to see what I think of this palette, what I recommend it, and what look I come up with, then definitely keep on watching. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna dive on into the swatches. So first shade right here is Rosé. So I don't really know if it shows as well on camera with the swatch, but it is this shade right here. I feel like this looks very much what it looks like in the pan, whereas the swatch I feel like is a little bit more pink. However, with the shade, it is a more like pink, but it's like it has some lavender in it. So it does primarily show up more on the pink side, but unlike where the swatches, I don't know if that can tell it even better, is it has a little bit of like lavender to it. So I think that's really beautiful. Next up right here is the shade Blvd. This is more of a coral type of matte. Next up is going to be Champs de Tournesol. This is a very like muted but bright type of yellow. Definitely ones where I would think of this, it almost looks neon, is what I would say, like a neon yellow, but it's a little bit more muted than just being so bright. It's definitely more muted. So next up is the Champs de Blvd. This is a very beautiful lavender type of shade. Next up is going to be the Côte d'Azur. This is a gray, but it has a little bit of like a bluish purple kind of tint to it. It's not just explicitly gray. It's literally, it's like a gray with like blue and purple mixed in as well. This next shade right here is moving on to the shimmer row. I don't know if you can see that. So with the shimmers, they all have some sparkle to them, but the sparkles is what makes the shifts. Almost all of these have shifts to them. So this first is Flûte Corset. So this is a kind of like a peachy shade, and as you can tell, it shifts purple. So the glitters make it shift purple. So this is a peachy purple shade. Next up is Navitaz. This is more of a light golden shade, and it kind of sparkles. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell with the swatches. I'm trying to like demonstrate it. Maybe like right there. It's like that light golden type shade, and it has some pink reflex in it to make a little bit of a shift. This one next up, this is called Flor de Mimosa. This is a very pretty bright yellow shade, and I would say that it shifts a little bit green. I feel like, yeah, there we go, green. So it's definitely more green. So you have a yellow green shift, not necessarily a golden green shift, which we see a lot of. It's just yellow and green. Next up is going to be Savon de Marche. This is a purple, and it kind of has some pinkish blue shifts to it, a little bit more pink. If you hit it in the right light, I can see some blue in it as well. And then the last one for the shimmer row is going to be Bouches du Rhône, and this is a silver type shade, but it has a purple shift to it. So that's really beautiful. Next up is going to be Vendang. This is I feel like on this looks like super pink, but it obviously, like, it's not that pink. It's more of a light berry shade. This one right here called Macarons. This is more of a reddish burgundy kind of color. On my wrist, it looks kind of pinky red. Whenever you swatch it, it's not like that at all. It's kind of like a red and burgundy combined, not just straight red. Next up is going to be Mille de Lavande. This is a very just like more intense saturated of a yellow, so it's a little bit of a deeper yellow. Next up is going to be Marche De Provence. This is a purpley gray matte. And then the very last shade we have is Hot's Alps. And this is it has some glitter in, oh no. This is a more charcoal gray, not black, just charcoal gray. So those are all of the swatches that we have. Also, I am not used to French words or anything like that. So I tried to say the names as best as I could. So we are going to now just like go ahead and just dive on into this palette. this is where I'm struggling a lot, and we're gonna be honest. I am trying to think, do I want to go a more pinkish route, or do I want to go like these like more like grayish purple tones, or do I want to do something yellow? I feel like every time I do something yellow, it just never happens. Or we do something a little bit more pinky. I think I honestly want to go with like the more purpley dark type shades. I think that's going to be the best. I'm going to go ahead, take my first brush, and I'm going to dip into this very first shade right here, which is Champs de Lavande, and just start lightly working that into the crease and above for my transition area, because I just don't have a lot of any area on my lids. So I'm just going to start slowly building this in, building this up. I'm not going to move on into the next shade right here called Marche De Provence, and that's just going to go a little bit lower down in my crease and transition area, and just start kind of working on where I want to end that. I think like right there would be good. Just note on the mattes, you can get some kick up in some of the shades, but it doesn't fall out on the face. Well, this is starting to look real good. I literally needed to leave when I started this video like 30 minutes to go to work. I don't know why I thought it would be a good idea to start filming a video when I have to leave in 30 minutes, knowing darn well I'm not going to be done for at least 45 minutes to an hour. So, does anybody else do that? Where you're just like, I'm going to do this really quick and then I'll leave for work? I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people do that, but my job also has like a ton of flexibility. So, I don't know. But if I show up at like noon and I need to work 8 hours, I can work noon to 8 if I want to. Or I could work like noon to 6. And then the next day do like 8 to 5 or 8 to 6 to make up those 2 hours, or come in on the weekend for a few hours. Totally up to you there, but yeah, I feel like I tend to do that, where it's like, I'll just do this so quickly. And I know darn well it is not. So for the outer corner, the last shade I want to go into is going to be this right here called Hot Alps. That one had a lot more fallout and kick up in the pan than the other ones did, but I had to like dust it off. But I feel like when I dusted it off, I lost a lot of the pigment. So let's try not dusting it off. Yeah, the not dusting it off seems to be going well, going much better. Do you guys have a difference in how you do your makeup based on where you're going? Or are you one of those, like, you'll just do your makeup however you want, no matter what it is? Like, do you have a job where you could do whatever? And if so, do you wear makeup to work? Do you like a very nice soft look? Do you do just like bronzer in the crease, some foundation, concealer, and some, cream products, powder products, of just some blush, bronzer, highlight, maybe not even highlight, and like a lip? Is that what anybody does? Let me know. Let me know how you do your makeup for work. And is that the same as how you would wear it if you're on a date night? I honestly, being weird, the shade is starting to get some fallout on the face. The other shades didn't. This one does, so that means you'd have to tap off your brush, but I think it looks okay. So for shimmer options, I definitely want to start with this shade, the Bauches du Rhône. And I want this to be like a little bit more on like the outer part of my eyes. Also, I glitter glued. I always glitter glue for shimmers, metallics, whatever the case may be. So I'm just going to start building that up. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Their formula. I don't know why I'm just keeping building, but I am. Ain't no shame in my game. That's so pretty. The next part I'm just like, oh. We have a couple options. Okay, so we have like this more pinky one. We have this right here. No. So it's got to be between these two. No, wrong one. These two. Okay, I guess we'll go into Navitaz, which is a little bit more like peach. And a little bit like peach and gold. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I like that. Nope, I don't. Okay, I'm gonna go just into like the whole entire first shade that we went with, and that's what we're gonna use for like the whole entire lid. Oh. Do y'all ever do that? Where you're just like doing your makeup, first time trying out a palette, you know, new color story potentially, and you literally have to spend most of your time just trying stuff out. Here are the eyes for now. What I will say about this, with the mattes, especially that deep one, if you plan on using that but don't want to have to dust it off because then it takes a lot more building, then do your eyes first. If you're like, I can't do my eyes first, I have to do the rest, then you're definitely gonna have to tap off the brushes. Get a glitter glue for the shimmers. I don't necessarily know that you would need a glitter glue, but if I was going to recommend something to somebody who does their eyes last or halfway through, I would always say just use a glitter glue, as that really helps everything just adhere to the eyes a little bit more and makes them last longer. But if you are wanting to do your eyes later in your makeup routine, then you will definitely need to tap it out and potentially build it up a lot more. So just that word of advice. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go off camera, start finishing off the rest of my face, and then we will come back so that way we can finish up with the lower lash line. I did not buy any glosses. I feel like I have so many glosses that I'm just not using that I don't want to buy more and then not use them. You know? Yeah. So I am back. We are now ready to move on to the lower lash line, inner corner. So first off, starting off with the lower lash line, we're going to go into this shade right here again, Champs de Lavande. And I'm going to tap it off very lightly and then just start kind of stamping it into the lower lash line pretty far down, truthfully. Did you guys have a good weekend? Like, what did you guys do this weekend? My husband's mom, so my mother-in-law, had like a pool party barbecue. We had like hot dogs and hamburgers on the grill. She made some pork chops as well on the grill. So it was pretty good. And of course, you know, you had like the potato salad, the coleslaw, you know, all of that other good stuff. And so they have like a up-ground pool with like a deck built around it. So it was fun. We all just got in the pool, hung out. The kids loved it. Of course they did. I think those kids are mermaids. That's got to be what the case is, because they are literally obsessed with water. Obsessed. The Marche De Provence, and just make that a little bit closer to the lash line. Last for the matte is going to be that Alps. And just smoke that a little, just up close on the outer third of my lid. For the inner corner, I think I'm going to go in with this one right here. This is the Flûte Corset, and that's going to go on our inner corner. So I'm going to start just like applying it right here at first to just make it shimmery. Slowly but surely working it in there, and then kind of going swooping up. So the eye look is completed. I still need to finish off a good portion of my face, so I'm going to go ahead, do that, and then come back with the final look and final thoughts. Here is the completed and final look. Let me know what you think down below. Now, before you say, really, a black lip? I don't think you could ever go wrong with a black lip, truthfully. And also, I tried like 7 different lip options before I finally got this. So I tried 8 different lip options. If I was like, well, let's just try a black, let's see what happens. And I love it. I feel like it goes perfectly with the eyes. That's just my opinion. All right, let's go ahead and let's dive on into my thoughts on this palette. Woo! First and foremost, this is, again, it's really nice, pigmented. The shimmers all have like some sort of like shift to them. Some are more prominent when it's like on camera, but all of them do have a little bit of a shift in them. So I find that really fun. Again, there's like so many different color stories that you can go with this. I did like that more purplish type look. You could do a more red, a more yellow, a more peach. You can just mix and match everything. So I really do like that. I think this palette is, again, really beautiful. Nomad's Formula is super good. The mattes are just like so creamy. It's almost like your hand's gonna go all the way through it because it's just so smooth, so creamy. The shimmers are also very smooth, like butter, and I think it does a really good job applying to the eyelid. It also has this really nice size mirror, so I love that as well. I always like a palette to have some sort of a mirror, because let me tell you, my little hand mirrors, I don't know what it is about them, but I get done filming, go to film another one, no idea where it went. No idea where it walked off to. Couldn't tell you. Eventually they all show up, but it's just the fact that, like, if I am losing it, I at least have this palette where I can do my eyes. So I'm appreciative of that. I'm appreciative of the formula. I think this color story is super beautiful. I will say my number one is still the Haunted Nomad. As you can tell, if you've seen other videos, I like things that are a little bit more grungy. That's why I have black lip on. I enjoy that. Than like neutral or lighter shades. But again, if you like those neutral and lighter shades, this is fantastic. If you're like, I kind of want something a little bit more grunge as well, Haunted Europe. Fantastic. I also love the like dedication they put into raising money for a conservative or whatever the case may be, whether it be animals or something else like that. They're always trying to support a cause, and that's one thing I love about this brand, is that they are going to donate, I think it's like 10% is what they said, maybe it's a little bit more, so it's like 10 to 20% that they donate to whatever cause they're advertising about with the palette. So I love that. I appreciate that. I think that is absolutely amazing. Of course, I try to also donate to things like that, or I donate to like people's medical expenses or something like that. So every month I'm trying to do something. And since I'm now trying out this palette, I will definitely be donating to the Bee, and I will link of the Bee Conservancy. I will link their website down below, so you guys can donate if you would like to, if you're very passionate about bees or just conserving wildlife in general. I will go ahead and link that down below, or you can also support them by buying a Nomad palette, whatever you prefer. So any palette that they sell, they give to something. So if you are like, oh, I don't really care that much about the bees, but sea turtle sounds great, or whatever the case may be, then you can at least donate to them. Or buy their palette. You can either donate to them or buy this palette. So definitely up to you. Again, this palette is fantastic. If this is a color story that speaks to you, I would highly recommend to pick this up. Again, this is one of my top favorite formulas. I always say like Give Me Glow is like my all-time favorite, and that is true. But the Nomad Formula is very different even from that. I really don't think that they have a formula that is like this. I think that the Nomad, from all the palettes that I've tried, is really creamy and buttery. Like, no matter what they do, shimmer, mattes, they're all creamy and really buttery. I feel like with a lot of other palettes, or almost all other formulas, the mattes just aren't this soft. They might be really pigmented or whatever the case may be, but I don't find that they are this soft. This is a soft formula. It feels incredible. I could like literally do swatches all day just so I could dip my fingers in it. It's fantastic. It feels amazing. So this is, again, a great palette supporting a great cause. Beautiful, beautiful packaging, nice large mirror, everything that I would want in a palette. The pigmentation is great. The shimmers are fantastic as well. I love the versatility you can do with the palette. It's not just like a whole palette of neutrals or a whole palette of colors, or maybe just like a little bit of neutrals and color, just a little bit of color and all neutrals. This just, I mean, mostly this is definitely a lot of color, not a ton of neutral here, but you just have so many different options, and I appreciate that. I love their color stories. I think they do a fantastic job. I love like the outer carton and how it like tells the story about like the place that they are talking about in their series, and then they have the little card that goes with that, which is so cute as well. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, click the little bell so you can see more videos from me. Just so you know, I've got the Profusion collection coming, Blend Bunny. We've got a ton of stuff that is coming that we will be trying. So make sure you guys have subscribed, click the little bell. Follow me over on Instagram for some more content. But that is it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next one.